can you see the direct evidence of the demise of the family in America in the public schools from where you were at?
Without a doubt.
It's Channel Mom with Jenny Dean Schmitz. We're here for you.
I was just reading an article this morning about buy-in, that in a public school environment versus a private school environment, you're dealing with a buy-in situation, meaning that in private school, they're literally bought in. They're buying, they're paying to get their child to go to school. They believe in the system. In public school, there's not necessarily that buy-in. And then you have a much greater difficulty getting kids to be invested in their own education. And I'm wondering if this is a growing problem in public education, or if it's really an inner city problem or a big city problem. I mean, how do you view that buy-in on behalf of the parents and the children, and how that affects the value of their education?
Well, I can tell you this for sure, that all the moms and all the people that are listening to your show, they understand very well the attack that is upon families right now in this generation. And God has created the family to be literally the infrastructure, to be the foundation for starting in homes and communities and for this nation. And so one of the things that happens is the public schools, there's not buy-in because so many of the homes, and I mean, when I say so many, I'm talking about 8 out of the 10 kids that I deal with are coming from homes that are absolutely demolished and fractured. And these students, we're trying to teach them that 2 + 2 = 4. They're trying to figure out, when am I going to get my next meal? Is my dad ever going to come back?
I was going to say that.
Is mom really going to come and pick me up? And so those are the issues that we're dealing with at large in a public school setting. And so what happens is that environment, that atmosphere, we understand full well that the atmosphere that we're a part of impacts our lives. And so we've got students who are struggling, who are trying to find their identity and their life and who they are. That's in that atmosphere, and it's so difficult. And so in private school and where I'm at, we can create that environment because there is buy-in from parents. There are parents that are saying, my kid is truly the most important investment in my life, and I want to give resources, time, and money to be able to raise my child up in the way that he or she should go. And so that's such a huge advantage. That buy-in piece is so important.
Okay, so my husband's also a principal in a rural school, and I kind of wonder if in big city schools, it's a somewhat different mentality than in rural schools, because there is certainly a buy-in amongst a number of families in the rural system. But my husband on the local level struggles immensely with the fact that a bunch of bureaucrats in Colorado, in the state system, and in the federal level are telling him what to do for his kids to give them a good education, and he has to abide by all of these test scores and everything else, and he can't just concentrate on one child at a time because he's got to satisfy the state folks and the federal folks with what kind of criteria they set up. And my goodness, does that deter an ability for just a teacher to figure out how to get a kid from A to B, you know?
Right. Oh.